Okay, welcome back everyone, and we're going to go ahead and continue on with this is going to be part 3 of this color along video in Twilight Garden. And in part 2 we went ahead and colored in these leaves right here. I showed you guys how I went and colored this area here, and then I said to go ahead and follow the same techniques and get those other leaves that are of the same design colored in. And now we're going to go ahead and get these leaves colored in. And so we've got lots of leaves in this picture, so that's why I'm taking them in steps so everybody can just, not feel so rushed and do one step at a time. But let me bring my book closer to the camera so you guys can see how I did those leaves there. See how close I can get that there. And so there. So I think it's looking pretty good so far, and so let's go ahead and continue on. And I did choose 3 colors to use for these leaves, and I'm pretty sure that the camera's not going to focus on these guys again, but of course I'm still sticking with my Faber Castell Polychromos, and I have chosen to go ahead and we're going to use 3 colors this time around. I don't think my camera is going to let me focus on the words on there too much. Nope. But like I said, all these colors will be listed in the description box below. And I think it's just my lighting. But anywho, first I've got olive green yellowish. That is 173. And then I've got the May green 170 and Sanguine, which is, I believe, let me see what it say, 188. Okay, but so don't fret, just look into the description box and you guys will see the colors that I used. It's only because my camera is not focusing on it. All right, so let me go ahead and get zoomed into an area that I'm going to start working on so you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and point down here. I think we'll get started on this area here, right there where I'm trying to zoom into. See how close I can get without distorting the picture too much. Might just have to work on my focusing. Let's see. I'm going to press my focus button and see if that will give us a better view. Okay, I think that should do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully I don't block your vision here. So with the May green, oh actually no, not the May green, I'm sorry. With the olive green yellowish, number 173 in the Faber Castell Polychromos, I'm going to go ahead and just start coloring in. I want to focus mainly on this bottom parts of the leaves here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and just start lightly filling it out. And you guys can see my fingers, I've got marker stains on there, and that's because I was coloring another book, coloring in another book, and I was using markers. So, and knowing me, I always get myself stained. So I'm just coming in, just using this olive green yellowish and just lightly filling in these bottom parts of the leaf as so. Alright, just keep going. I am going to leave just a tad bit of white area right there as like a highlight, okay? So just go ahead and fill in these parts as I'm doing, leaving just that little bitty mark there, open and free of color. And once again, as always, I'm just using light pressure. I mean, I like to do my videos in different, in steps, So that's why I have so many parts and, you know, or series to my color alongs. I like to be able to explain fully what I'm doing without you guys feeling rushed. And I'm actually going slower in coloring than what I would do if it was just me on my own without doing a video. So yeah, sometimes some people can find certain books and certain designs quite intimidating, and I have gotten messages before where people do prefer me doing this step by step, and so that they can follow along, and then they can have some sort of inspiration when it comes to getting their books colored in. Okay, so I got that bottom part filled in like I wanted to. So you guys can see what I did there. Like I said, I just filled in these towards the bottom parts. I left this upper half blank at this time, and then right there at the little edges of each of these leaves I left some little spots uncolored, because I just want to go over that with my May Green here in a minute, and kind of gives it a highlight just like what we did with these other leaves up here. Okay, so now I've got my May Green. Okay, there you go. Hey, look at that. It showed on the video. May Green number 170. And now I'm going to use this May Green, and I am just going to go over that olive green yellowish that we just used very lightly, just to add a tint of this May Green on it. And it helps, you know, blend the colors and brighten it up a bit. And now I'm going to go over those areas that I left blank earlier with that May Green. And because I'm using circular strokes, you guys won't see that directional lines that you would get if you were coloring, you know, like back and forth. But when I use circular strokes, you guys, that eliminates all that. And these Faber Castell, one thing I am finding out about it is that they are awesome with blending, and they also seem to minimize those directional strokes that you get. Okay, so now I've gotten that bottom part also covered in that May Green. Now I'm going to move up to the top part here, and I'm lightly going to use the May Green and just give that upper, you know, top half that I left bare earlier just a little wash of the color. So very, very lightly, I'm just going in and filling that in. Okay, so that's that for now. So it's very, very light, like I said, and that's what we're getting. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use my Sanguine. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not even quite sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But that's a Sanguine. It's like a dark orange kind of deal. It's like a brownish orange. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark some, you know, color along a little bit. Just kind of randomly go over that leaf. So just randomly going over it, just to give it more of, just to give some more colors on there, so it's not so bland. And it just makes the leaves a little bit more interesting than just plain old green. Okay, so just lightly going over that, adding that Sanguine on there, and I'm just gauging of how much I want to lay in there and how dark I want that Sanguine to come through. So I just pretty much went over it a second time, and like I said, I'm using very light pressure. Okay, now that that's on there, now I'm going to pick up my May Green again. Okay, picking up my May Green, and I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and go on top of everything that I just colored very lightly, just to blend everything together. Just going in with light pressure using circular strokes and just going over everything that I had laid down already. Like I said, it just makes for an interesting color. Good color variations are good. Okay. And it's your book, so how much of the color that you want on there is totally up to you. There we go. Okay, so that's what I've got on that so far, and I'm going to continue on and do the rest of these leaves the same way. So once again, I'm going to pick up my olive green yellowish, and I'm going to fill in this bottom half of the leaves. Just filling that in there, and I'm only going to go up halfway and still leaving those areas on top there. Little areas in the leaf, like a little highlight area, I guess you could call it. And you guys saw what I did with the previous leaf down there, and I'm going to be doing the same thing for each of these leaves. Using olive green, coloring in just the bottom half, leaving a little bit of area uncolored on each section of the leaf here. Okay. So I'm just going to do the bottom 3 sections of this leaf, and I'm going to leave the rest bare for now, just like I did with the previous leaf that we colored. There we go. Okay, now I'm coming in again with my May green. Giving a little bit of extra color in there with that. Coming over in each of the sections that I just colored and lightly going over it with a May green, including that area that I left bare. Like I said, I'm trying to do this step by step so you guys can follow along a little bit easier. Okay, so that's good for now. Now back again to my Sanguine. Okay, and just doing the same thing. All these leaves that have the same design, I'm going to be doing the same technique, same colors. And just gauging of how much of this Sanguine that I actually want on my leaves. But I'm just using a very light pressure. That's what I like about these Faber Castells, is just light pressure is what works the best. There we go. It's now middle of the afternoon here, and it's feeling like it should be nap time. I don't always take naps, actually. Today just feels like one of those days that I should take a nap. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit more in that corner area here, just because I know it's a darker area. Okay, and I think that's good. And back on with my May green. And I'm just going to go over everything again with my May green, just very lightly going over everything that I just colored once again, just to blend all the colors together. You guys can also work, if you guys wanted your leaf to look darker, just add a little bit more of each of the colors and you guys should get a darker tone. And that's like totally up to you to do that, or you can just follow along as I'm, you know, as I'm coloring. I'm following what I'm doing. Yep, so this one will take a while here to do. So if you guys were just wondering, because see, we have a few more leaves over here. You got 2, 4, 6, and then you've got like little section of those same designs hiding behind the bunch of berries right there. So, all right. So like I said, I'm just going back and forth. You can also make it easier by going in and filling each of your sections of your leaf with the color that you're going to use. Leaving, always just remember to leave that little bit of highlight at the section of the leaf. I'm using my olive green yellowish. So it's just basically just the 3 colors that we're working with at this time. My kitty cats are having their lovely cat nap going on right now. So I'm actually feeling a little bit jealous. There we go, just coloring in the bottom half. Coming in again with the May green. And coloring on top of that olive green that I just had on there, that I was just using. Okay. And then I'm going to move up on here into that area of the leaf again that I left bare. Just giving it just a little bit of wash, a little bit of a base before I come back in again with my Sanguine. So picking up my Sanguine again. There we go. Oh, there we go. You guys can see that. And just coming on in again and then just adding that color to each of the sections. I mean, to me, this makes it look a little bit more interesting. Trying to go for a little bit more of the warmer colors for this piece anyway. Here you go. So at least I think this part of my videos will be probably the easiest to follow. Well, I hope anyway. There we go. I think I've got enough of the Sanguine on there. Coming back on again with my May green. And once again, just covering everything that I just previously colored. And blending it all together. Just to bring it all together there. So light circular strokes. Of course, my light to your light pressure is totally different. So just use, you know, your own judgment on that. But from what I'm learning from using Faber Castells is that you don't need a lot of pressure to get good color from the Faber Castells. Just a light pressure and building up your layers works the best. There we go. Okay, I think I've got that leaf done. Okay. And same thing with each of these leaves. So it's the same thing each way, okay? Olive green, yellowish, then a little bit of the May green, then the Sanguine, and then wash it down and blend it all together again with the May green. So like I said, this is the easier part. So you guys go ahead and just continue on working with all the leaves of the same design in the book. Okay. And just following this, you know, I think it's a pretty easy technique that I'm using here. Okay. And then I'll meet up with you guys again for our next round. Just go ahead and color in each of the sections of the book. I just wanted to give you guys a little how-to and how I'm about to tackle this book, and I'm zooming out so I can show you. See if I can get that there. Okay. So yeah, so just continue on with each of the sections. You got those. Be mindful of the ones that are hidden behind the flowers and behind the bunches of the berries. Okay. So those are the ones that need to be worked on, and then I will meet you guys again for the next step. Okay, so here is my finished version of the leaves that we were coloring in. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick peek of what it looks like. So there's that up close of what I did, and hopefully your guys's looks the same as well. Okay, so we've got one more set of leaves that we need to color in, and then after that we're going to move on to the stems and the berries and then the flowers. And so hopefully you guys will tune in to the next we're going to be part 3. So I will see you guys then, and thanks for watching, and see you then.